I am back today with Mom's Basement MMA royalty. This is a guy that I know very, very well. He doesn't have a nickname. I'm about to drop one on him. Josh the Machine Augustine. What do
Ooh,
you think about
I
that,
like
Josh?
that.
That's pretty sexy, isn't
Got
it?
the rhyme.
Yeah, I was
I like
thinking.
that.
I'm just throwing that out there for consideration. I liked it, and I thought up of that this morning when I was like shaving my bright shiny dome that I have covered with my little hat here. I was thinking to myself like, Josh needs a nickname, and I usually come up with like terrible ones. But this one I was like, the Machine sounds pretty dope. Just saying.
I feel like it goes with the aesthetic as well.
I think it goes with the aesthetic, my friend. And Josh, the last time I had you on, I have to start this off on a low note. You know exactly what I'm going to talk about. Bellator 276 was in St. Louis. You got a call to be on that card. I freaking like screamed like I was on Oprah, and I found out I was getting a car or something. I was so excited, and I know you were too. There, for the people who are just new to you, or for people who aren't exactly in the know, you show up, two opponents are put in front of you. The first guy bails because he's hurt, presumably. The second guy, late notice replacement, he can't make the weight. There were probably a billion things that were happening all while all this stuff was going on. And I am sure the story changed every hour to hour. Like, okay, yeah, he'll probably be fine. Oh, shit, I don't know. The weight cut's going not so good. Oh, never mind. Like, I'm sure it was like this back and forth Viking shit between happy and just feeling like total dog shit the entire time. You don't find out that the bout isn't going to happen. Like, I don't even think it's 24 hours beforehand. Super late notice. You find out the last second homie's not going to make the weight. Can you talk to me a little bit about just kind of like what was going on behind the scenes? I'm really curious because I'm perceiving from the videos I've seen you in talking about it, it's like, all right, homie either got really upset and smoked a lot of weed, which I'm sure was probably true for you, but it was also just kind of like the range of emotions. This is something that you've been wanting for so long, and for it to not happen, that's got to be a freaking total kick in the nuts. Can you tell me just like what are the things that were going on behind the scene?
Yeah, so it all was going really smoothly. Like I had agreed to the 170, and I was like excited about the matchup. I was excited about fighting at welterweight because it gives me a range of divisions, and it looks great on the resume. And obviously making my Bellator debut literally 5 minutes from where I live right now was going to be a dream come true in itself. But with him missing weight like 5 pounds over, it was just I had lost a fight before from a guy missing weight by 5 pounds, and I felt like that was it was a lot larger of a point than I had made it previously. So it was a big growing point in my career. And so I had decided not to do it just based off of that. But, then I had, disagreements with people about like wanting to do it, not wanting to do it. And then there was the side of me that did think, well, I do think I'll just beat him. I wouldn't have taken the fight if I didn't think I would.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, there was a lot of up and down in that moment. But I'm just grateful that Bellator paid me for my show money for making weight and going through camp and having to deal with everything. And that, that definitely helped with the family and, just getting everyone paid for camp and all the coaches and stuff.
I'm sure that at least for you, it felt good in the sense where it was like, hey, I showed up, I'm on weight, I'm a professional, I'm ready to go. Like this isn't on me. And I'm sure they were the first to say that to you.
They did. They had mentioned that. I had talked to two people behind the scenes, Gloria and Carrie, who helped run the show at Bellator. They're pretty much the brains behind everything back there. And they both had reached out to me and said, we appreciated how professional you were all week long. And that I'd get another opportunity basically. And I've consistently reached out to them to say, if you need anyone at 155, but it's a long damn line. And a lot of those spots are earned, with the money people are making. So I understand how the game goes, and I'm back to just doing what my original plan was, because I felt like I was kind of jumping the line, and I felt really, I mean, obviously I was really happy about jumping the line with that last fight, because my plan for the year was to crank out 3-4 wins with Shamrock, get a title shot with them, and get my multi-fight deal. So, but then obviously with this opportunity, we had spoke about it, for people who don't know, that was almost kind of like a tryout for that multi-fight deal.
Mhm.
But it is what it is. Now it's in the past, and it's time to just focus on Nick Spina July 9th. And then after that, I'll be getting a title shot September 16th, as long as I take care of business. And then that will be for the multi-fight contract.
So talk to me. The Bellator thing, it doesn't work out, and they tell you like, okay, if we have a spot for you, we will, we'll hit you up, we'll let you know. But like, were people chirping at you? You kind of alluded to it, and like immediately after, when we knew you weren't going to fight, I looked for it. I couldn't find it. I don't remember like if you put it on your stories and it expired, or maybe you just deleted it, whatever. But I didn't quite understand exactly what you were saying. But it sounded like you were responding to people that were hating on you for whatever reason. What was the
Yeah.
deal?
Yeah. I mean, there was people that were closer to me, that were like actually saying things to me, and just like act in certain ways because they didn't want to say specific things, and then I could just tell. And then, I'd talk to a mutual friend or someone,
Yeah.
if it was someone really close, and they'd kind of tell me what the deal is. And it's whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, it's my family and it's my career that I got to take care of. And right now I kind of feel like I'm walking on eggshells. So I mean, I'm not in a position to make crazy risks. So I am a guy who will make some crazy fucking risks, but that's how I ended up with 2 losses on my record. So, I mean, obviously I'm willing to take risks. I was going to go up from 55 to 70, to fight a guy who's only fought at 70 and 85. But, regardless, it didn't work out. He didn't make the weight. Like I said, I've said in other interviews, if he would have reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'm going to miss weight. Let's do 175." I would have just did 175, and then we would have fought. But he had that time, he had that opportunity, and he chose not to.
Yeah, and that's the thing that frustrates me the most. It was like, hey, listen, dude, I'm not gonna make it. And if you were to be given that heads up, it's like, okay, cool. I'll crush a T-bone and eat a potato, and
Right.
I'll be there.
Right. I had to dehydrate myself still. I still had to bring my weight down and drag my weight down. I could have had more muscle on me a little. I mean, everything would have been different.
It just seemed like it was something that slipped out of your fingers, but I know that you're going to be back there in all due time. In terms of like getting over it, like was there a couple of days like where you were emo about it and you're like, fuck the world, fuck everything, and fuck everybody, or were you the type of guy where it's like, okay, I'm gonna take like a weekend to be like emo, and then I'm gonna go back in the gym and just start like tearing people up? Like, I say that figuratively speaking because you have to take care of your homies, but you know what I mean.
No. I know exactly. But no, but that's always my attitude in the gym anyway. So yeah, you're spot on with that. But do you ever listen to the story so far?
Yes.
Yeah, so I jammed out the story so far for a couple days. I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely a little bit emo,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I am just a big believer that things happen for a reason, and that you're in certain places at a certain time for certain things, and either you have those experiences and you use them to learn and grow from them, or the lesson will continue to repeat itself in some other type of form, or another way, or in the same form way. So I just wanted to embrace it and move forward and figure out what my next move was. Pretty much right after that, I found out Shamrock was having another card in Kansas City in May, and I was just trying my best to get on that card. I was just trying to get the wins, get back in the win column, and get back moving. We actually tried to get another fight with Weston.
Oh wow. Okay.
But he didn't want to do it.
I
He
see.
said no.
Well, I would fight you, but my labia hurts and I can't. But Josh, I wanted to ask you, like, I think one of the coolest things about Bellator for you is like although you were denied the opportunity through no fault of your own, you were able to make connections. You were able to see the inner workings of what that promotion's like how it works, who are the people that run it, like what does an event look like, photo shoots, like there's a whole bunch of things at that level that is expected of the fighters. And when
100%.
you see all that, and when you know in the back of your mind that they already know who you are, you're on their radar, do you ever kind of like pivot and think like, wow, okay, like when I get here, like for real, when I'm A side, like I'm gonna have to do things differently from a preparatory standpoint, because you're talking about promotions, you're talking about photo shoots, you're talking about radio shows, like you're talking about all of these expectations that get piled on you. And when you're a guy that just comes up from the regional scene, it's like, yeah, you might be on a podcast like mine or somebody else's, but like when you get up to that level, there's like a whole different layer of promotions that you have to do. And is that something that you kind of like thought about, like, wow, okay, I'm gonna have to like figure out a strategy to deal with all this crap, like at one point?
So I'm not going to name any names, but I will say that I saw some guys I feel like didn't take as much advantage of the situation, that kind of just did what they were required to do for Bellator and did the things necessary and went. But I'm about that money, man. Yeah. I am the money man, and I want to get fucking paid. I'm willing to do whatever I got to do. I'm willing to do all of it. And so watching all that stuff was honestly just inspiring. It got me fired up. I'm like, man, this shit is easy. I cannot wait to be the guy in that position, because I'm watching these other guys, you know, back training and, you know, because we have like the workout rooms and stuff. So I'm seeing all the guys and I'm like, I'm not going to say they're trash or that they're not good or whatever. Everyone's fucking good at that level, but they're not doing anything I'm not doing. They're not doing anything special. They're not doing anything I'm going, whoa, that guy's so fucking good. But I will say there were some guys at some major camps watching me and Harrison McCormick do some training, and they were all stopping exactly what they were doing and taking a look at who is the real best guy in that room on a skill for skill basis. And that's why it was a confidence booster. I cannot wait. I could just tell.
You look fantastic in those. You look fantastic in those belly shorts and gloves, man. I gotta say, like that looked tight, man. I can't wait to like see you with a pair of red gloves on. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We talked a year ago about you just getting a shot in Bellator. I almost feel like that's already happened in a way. The next thing is stringing together a few wins and then getting a multi-fight deal, as you said, with Bellator. But Shamrock FC 339 against Nick Spina. I hope I said his name right. Apologies to him if I didn't. It's on July 9th. And when you think about all the things I just mentioned, knowing that you're on the Bellator radar and knowing that you're very close to being out of the regional scene entirely, is there like a whole new layer of expectations and pressure that are on you? Like, oh shit, like I have like all these eyeballs on, like people know who I am now. Like I have to deliver on the goods. Like, is that something?
To an extent, I feel it. I feel what you're saying, and I understand that it's there, but I just look at it skill for skill. I look at the game for what it is. I look at it like a sport, and I look at for technique what it is. And I'm not going to not be aware. I'm not going to say there's nothing I got to worry about, because every punch can knock you out. Every kick can knock you out. But for the way I set my shit up against the way he sets his shit up, and just the way I prepare, just the way I do everything, there's nothing for me to worry about. I'm going to run through this guy like a machine.
I love it. You are in like this weird kind of position where I think you're going to get two very different reactions from how people approach you. And depending on the makeup, the mentality of your opponent, that's going to dictate a lot, and their coach probably. But it's like, here's one perspective. It's like, okay, I have a decent record and they want me to fight this guy. I'm not fucking fighting this guy for $300. You can fuck yourself. Fuck that. This guy's going to put an L on my record. I want no part of him. If you're going to pay me that, I want to fight, a debutante. I want to fight Tyler Little. I'm not fucking fighting this guy, which, hey, I get it. I completely understand it. Now, on the other hand, if I'm like Scrubbo McCanny or some, Scrubbo McGee, right? 0-10, it's like, you know what, dude, I'm not going to Bellator anyway. But if I get lucky and I knock this dude out, people are going to pay attention to me, and that could open up
Yeah,
doors
that's
for me.
true.
So it's like,
I didn't actually think about
what
that.
do I have to lose? I have nothing to lose about fighting a guy like this. Why wouldn't I fight him?
Yeah, publicly, I actually haven't said this, and I privately have said this a bunch, though. I'm not really sure why I wasn't sure why he was taking the fight, but honestly, that has to be his mindset going into it, that he thinks he's going to gain. He has a decent record. So I think if he gets a win, he gets the title shot, he can roll into a Bellator contract and hang his hat on that, and call it a career. Maybe, he thinks maybe he can catch me young or whatever, but you're not catching me young. You're catching me in my prime. And it doesn't matter who it is. I'm already, I don't want to say I'm looking past them, but I'm ready for the top level guys. I'm ready for, I'm looking at who I want to fight for the title in Shamrock and who's going to be my Bellator debut fight. Honestly, that I'm trying to figure out who my next opponents are, because I already know I'm going to blast this guy out.
I looking at it and just trying to think in the brief amount of time that you told me from us doing where we're arriving where we are at this segment of the show to when you told me who you were fighting, I was like, okay, I'm 41 years old. Yes, I do have a winning record of 5-3, but the only way I'm gonna get up to the show, I have to make a statement. I don't have time on my side. I'm gonna have to shock people. So that makes sense to me. It's like, okay, if I can catch this kid, I have a real shot at maybe having a couple fights in Bellator. But he has to roll that dice, because he's not going to get there by building himself up. There's no time now.
Against a can or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what makes sense. He doesn't have the luxury of time. So the more and more I think about it, the more and more I can understand why he would want that fight, because you're probably the biggest name in St. Louis, and you're the best fight and the most difficult fight that he has at this point in his career. And that could make him more aggressive. Hey, I'm going to come out swinging and we'll see what happens. And I kind of respect him for that. Truly, I do. I'm being sincere.
No, I definitely do. I respect any opponent that steps in there with me, honestly. Not to be like, oh, I'm so dangerous, but it's just, I just have respect for anyone that steps in the cage and anyone that does it. It's a really crazy fucking thing, but the more higher skilled you get, you can only have respect for those guys, because we're just putting so much on the line. It's so fucking dangerous. And like you said, to do it for the amount of money that we're doing it for.
I'm sure that there's a lot easier ways to make money.
There definitely is. I will say I am happy with my pay though through Shamrock, so I don't want to sound ungrateful either. I'm doing okay. I hope Nick's doing okay. I know they hooked him up at the nice little resort hotel here in town that the event's going to be at. So I hope he has a good stay, and I hope he's taken care of.
Good. Well, it's important, but the other thing is I've heard good things about Shamrock. I'm sure you're a draw, you're from the area, you're going to sell a lot of tickets. You're exciting. People want to see you fight. So it makes me feel good to know that there are some promotions out there that are like, okay, let's not be total douchebags today, and let's try to do right by some of these fighters, because that doesn't always happen.
No, they're awesome. They literally will reach out to me and just be like, hey, how's training? How's your weight cut? Is this good? Is this, you know what I mean? They're just like, hey, how's ticket sales? Can we help? They're super helpful. Everything's professional. Everything's smoothly ran, from the tickets to, to the venue itself, to the show, to the fights, to the weigh-ins. Everything is just on point. It's the best you can ask for local shows, honestly.
I wanted to ask,
or regional, rather.
I wanted to ask you a broader question. I've never asked this question before. In MMA, we always talk about game plans, right? We always talk about my coach said I have to stick to the game plan, or my game plan. We always hear about that in a post interview. Now, I'm assuming that a game plan can be as simple as hey, Josh, you're a really good striker. This dude's a really good wrestler. Takedown defense. We're going to drill that real good in this camp. Other than that, just do your thing. I would also imagine depending on your opponent, some of these game plans could be okay, he's really bad at he can't defend the Kimura. Make sure you do that. Do not get in full mount against this guy because he's really fucking heavy. You're not going to buck him off. Like when you think about all these things, like how do you retain all that? Because when the bell rings, like okay, cool. Yep, I got my plan. Yep, okay, cool, got it. But when the bell rings, you're in a fight. Like, how do you retain all that stuff?
Well, for me, I don't try not to fight with completely ego free. If you fight with an ego and you get caught in the emotions of, oh, he hit me, I'm going to hit him back, or you get in the emotions of, oh, it's happening, this is my moment, I'm going to get him,
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to do what you do in the gym every day.
Mm-hmm.
If you just try to slow yourself down, slow your breathing down, slow your mind down, and be right there in that moment, like actually right there in your body and feeling, okay, I need to get on my jab. Okay, he's throwing that jab. Now you're going technique for technique, actually doing your shit. And then that's where things will start to open up and make sense again, even though it's going to be a little more frantic right out of the go.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's why I have a lot of finishes out of the beginning, because I have a really good understanding and feeling for that. I train that really hard, and I can sense it whenever guys are getting they're anxious or nervous, or they're just real tense right out of the go, and I feed off of it, and I just try to do my best to just take advantage of it.
I think like one of those things that you can always tell a good fighter from a great fighter is like, well, what happens when you make a plan and then that shit falls apart and then you have to improvise on the fly, right? Because everyone's got a game plan. It's like, well, okay, takedown defense. He's a good wrestler. Like, we're not going to get taken down. Well, you get taken down. Now what are you going to do? Like, some people don't have the ability to overcome that, and others do. And so I guess I wanted to ask you, can you talk to me about a time where you had a game plan against like an old opponent that you had to like abandon said game plan and figure other shit out while you were fighting that person?
Yeah, honestly, I'm excited to have that experience still. I mean, there's been times in boxing and kickboxing matches where I've had to make adjustments where I'd see, okay, he's doing this, and I gotta adjust to this, and this technique's gonna there, and then boom, something happens off of that, whether I'm thinking like the one that I'm gonna that I thought would work, or something that follows up off of that works. But in MMA, I haven't had that yet. I lost to Ty Clark, and I go back to that fight and I look at it, and all I can think is, man, I wish I would have made the adjustments and been more aggressive off my back and trying to stand up. And same thing with the Muhammad Naimov fight, where I should have made the adjustment. Once my leg broke, instead of continuing to try to kickbox with him, I probably should have tried to take him down, considering, I come from a jiu-jitsu school. Like, that's, where I started. I'm a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I'm a very well-versed, grappler. Like, I've been training with Sammy Henson for, a couple of years now. At that point, it was, a little bit over a year. He's a Olympic level wrestler. He got silver medal at the Olympics. He's I have everything there. I needed to just really believe in it. And now I'm looking forward to that opportunity, where obviously the higher up the rankings I go, that will come again. That time to where I'm forced to adjust, because you got to make adjustments when you're lagging where you thought you were going to win in that initial game plan. You got to make that adjustment, and I'm just looking forward to that experience basically at this point.
Is it true that well, you already mentioned a couple things in terms of what the rest of your year looks like. You talked about your upcoming bout here on the 9th, and then you also mentioned about potentially getting a title fight in September, October, somewhere around there. Yes. At this point in your career, Josh, is it important, like, not only that you win, but like you win a certain way? Because like it's also, is it like, I guess my question is like, do you feel pressure to like be exciting, like not just win? That's one thing. Like, you could be boring as fuck and win a fight, but like to put on a show, like, is there like pressure to do that to get to like one of those big three? And I asked that question of people at your level, because if it's like, oh, I'm so worried about putting on a show, it's like, okay, well, you were being reckless and you just got elbowed in the face and now you're unconscious.
Yep. Yeah, no, I I do feel that pressure a bit. I understand, like I said, it's the same thing as the other stuff. Like I understand it's there, but it's for me, it's more like with the fans. Like I'm such a big ticket seller here. I got to keep everyone entertained, but I don't. Luckily for me, with my style, I don't have to force that. I don't have to force an entertaining fight. I can just literally focus on touching them a few times, and like in practice all the time before sparring, whatever. People will just fucking circle up and start watching, and then they just start going, "Ooh, oh," like. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm like doing how I've been fighting for years and been, learning this, learning that, adding this to the game, and that's just the way it goes. So I'm grateful to be a guy that doesn't have to force an entertaining style, but my whole mindset is to kill you whenever I'm in front of you. I'm gonna fucking wipe you out as the second that they say go, if you give me the opportunity to. So, I try not to think about it too much, because then you're just in your head about shit that you really can't control. All I can do is just focus on being the best Josh Augustine, July 9th, and then the other opportunities will unfold.
I wanted to get your opinion. You're a striker, obviously. Like, you watch your fights. Like, I know you're a mixed martial artist, but I'm gonna call you striker because, like, that's where you like show up. At least for me, the boxing, the kickboxing, everything just looks crisp. Everything looks nice. I like watching you like stand and bang with people and fucking people up. I like to see that. What is more exciting or what is more satisfying for you? Like, if a front kick in the face or like a nice clean like hook to the body, like which is like the most satisfying?
Front kick.
The front kick to the
front
face.
kick all day, dude.
Like,
what about you?
Man, me personally, so when I fight Ariel Helwani, it will happen. I want to fucking fight him. I don't know why. Maybe he's a nice guy, but I look at him like,
I'll train you, bro.
Bro, you're on my fucking turf. I'm going to fuck you up. I don't know why. Maybe he's nice. I don't have anything personal. Well, I do have a little bit of some shit I'd say about him. But for me, I would want to knee him in the face as hard as I possibly could. And I'd want to shatter his nose and blood be everywhere. Like, I'd want to clench him up and I'd want to freaking knee him.
Muay Thai plum.
Yeah. That just seems very satisfying to me.
Fuck that nose up.
Yeah, like I want the blood everywhere, dude. Like, I want to be drenched in blood. I don't know. Call it a fantasy, call it a one-off. I fuck up Ariel Helwani, I'd never have to fight again. I'm good. And I say all that, and like he'll like pull freaking guard on me and like tap me out like in 2 seconds. I don't know.
Is he a jiu-jitsu guy?
I would hope so. He's been fucking like covering the sport for 20 goddamn years. Like, he better.
I don't know. I've never heard anything about him training. I don't know. He does seem. You train? How often do you train?
No, but dude, like,
oh, you got to start training, dude. You'll love it.
But I want to train with you.
Come up.
I gotta learn that fresh shit, man.
Come up.
Hey, I'm gonna be like that guy in the comments that said that I'm gonna beat you up, and then you like gave him your address and he never showed up. I assume. I saw that.
No,
I thought that shit was funny. Like, do you?
My girlfriend's like, "Why are you giving out our fucking address on the internet? Delete that shit." I'm like, "No, I want this motherfucker to know what it is."
Yeah, you better show up too. If I'm giving you my address, you better fucking show up. I mean, like, does that happen? Like, do you get like, I don't know if do you get trolled a lot?
Oh yeah, I get trolled all the time.
Like, from
it's silly shit though. Like, I already know that people are just trolling, so it's like
whatever.
Like, I just kind of laugh it off. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But it is so interesting to me.
I have never understood that. I don't.
Let me get some sparring rounds. I'm like, you don't want to do that. That would suck for you.
I wonder, like, the people that are talking shit, like, I'm not saying this to like be that guy, but it's like, have you ever seen live MMA before? Like, have you been to an MMA gym? Have you like sat by a cage and like seen it for yourself? Because I'm telling you, like, everyone's a tough guy behind a computer. You go and sit next to one of those cages and you hear the force of some of these shots. You hear like stuff that you don't hear on TV. You see the blood for yourself. And it's like, Are you sure? Are you sure? Like, so many people talk all that game, they talk all that shit, and then like when push comes to shove, it's like there's only a fraction of the population that can do this at the
I mean,
level.
dude, you don't even know how many people I've seen come through the gym and they're like training. They got fights coming up. They're doing it. They have a couple fights. Like so many people come and go.
Mhm.
And and that's for people that are interested in it, that show up, that do the damn thing even. And like it can be too much for those people that are, that absolutely fucking love it. But yeah, no, it's a really hard thing to understand.
I don't think there would ever be a world in which, like, even if I were a young dude, I just don't think I could ever do it because the fighting isn't even like the main part of it. It's like the weight cut. It's like that's huge. It's like, okay, well, did you make the weight though? Like you have to go through fucking hell just to like go through hell. It's kind of twisted when you think about it.
Yeah, the weight cut's definitely the worst part about it. It's super fucked up, but now it's just so ingrained in the sport. It's just what you
Yeah,
got to do.
yeah. I think of it and I'm just like, I think the weight cut would be absolutely brutal. Like, and that's where you find out, like, where you probably go into that dark space for a little while when you're like 1 or 2 pounds away, and it's like, this will make me or break me.
It kind of, for me, it like makes it like takes you to that next space, like that kill space,
mm,
where like it takes you away from like every day. You don't. Most people aren't so fucking disturbed. I mean, I know fighters are crazy, but we're not so fucking disturbed that we're just like psychos ready to kill every fucking day. But like, when you're not eating and drinking for 24 hours, plus you're dehydrating your body even more after you've already been dieting for 2 weeks, it definitely adds a little pissed off edge to like, anybody. And then
yeah.
if you're really that guy and you really enjoy all of it anyways, it just gives you that extra little fire to just really take someone's head off for sure.
So after you win on July 9th, like think about like you're missing out on the 4th of July beers, the steaks, the
Mhm.
hamburgers, the ice
My
cream
birthday was
cones.
yesterday,
Hell, fucking happy birthday, man. You look
and
great
I
for you look great for 46.
had uh yeah, dude, I had to miss out on all my good food and stuff. My family threw a surprise party at a pizza place and they had cookie cake and all this shit. And I was like, I love you guys, but goddamn.
So what, you had like a shitty salad and water?
I had a Caesar salad with chicken. And I
Okay.
did have one, and then we had St. Louis style, so it is like the little slice of pizza. I had that little corner slice. So I had a little piece.
Hey, you're the man. You know what you have to do at this point in time. Happy birthday, man. And for your birthday, a birthday gift for yourself. You'll get a win on the 9th. That's gonna feel good. And that has got to be like a good feeling to see another win bump up on your record, right? Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be super nice. Because your
Yeah,
record, you only fight like once or twice a year, it seems. Through no
yeah,
fault of your
no.
own. It's just
No, I mean, yeah, that's usually how it goes, but this year hopefully it's a lot more. At
yeah.
least 4.
Yeah, so we'll go 6-2, and you know what? Just start agitating people. So start talking a bunch of shit. Start being an agitator, like that guy in Bellator with the bleach blonde
Well,
hair.
hey, you know who it is. Don Shanus. That dude can fucking get it.
Oh, you
He
want to fight Don?
I'll fight Don. We talked some shit on Instagram a couple years ago. We were talking about doing something at 45, and now he's been Mr. Active, and what is he, FAC 155 champ?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, if he wants to come over and try and get the Shamrock belt, I'm right here. That's about to be my shit. I'll sell the bitch out. You come over with your little record, your little padded ass record, and I'll fuck him up.
All right. Well,
Uh,
Shameless Don is
Cody
getting called
Fister.
out. I don't know who
Cody
Cody is.
Fister. Oh, I thought you had him on your show.
No, I've never had Cody Fister on my show.
Okay.
Don,
Oh
I
no,
know
I've
Don.
done.
I do know Don. Yes,
Okay.
Don has been
Okay.
on my show. I don't know
Yeah, I was
Cody.
gonna say I always check on your posts. I was gonna say I've seen him before.
Yeah, nice guy.
No, he's not a bad fighter. But that'd be the perfect step. That'd be a really good fight for what's next. We're both right there looking to get to that next level, and we're both, same weight, same area. Now he's out of Glory. I mean,
Yep.
it could work. But yeah, like Cody Fister, Thomas Gifford, any of those guys can get it too.
All right, man. We're already on a call out spree. I love it. This is freaking fantastic.
I've been thinking about this, dude. I'm saying it in the cage too afterwards.
Good.
Thomas Gifford would get knocked the fuck out.
There was
That
one
goofy
guy.
motherfucker running barefoot.
There was one guy that. Oh my god. I think it was the very first show we did together. You called out. I'm trying to remember his name. I think you called him a redneck and a piece of shit, but I don't remember the guy's name. I really don't. For the life of me, I don't remember it, but I just laughed.
It might have
so
been
hard.
Thomas because he's a fucking obviously a redneck.
No, I would
That
remember
ponytail
that.
don't cover up that redneck, boy.
No, it was someone else. It was somebody else. Shit. Cunningham.
Oh, Cunningham. Yeah, well, he can get it too.
Yeah, you called him a redneck. You didn't say he was racist. You called him a redneck piece of shit.
He probably is racist.
So there you go. We listed off a whole bunch of names. If you're watching this, I don't kiss and tell. I'm not a guy that's going to be like, yo, Josh said this, Josh said that. You either know or you know. Like, hey, you either figured this out on your own by watching this YouTube video, or you maybe
feel free to clip this though.
Yeah, feel free to.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, got you.
Especially if Don's gonna see it.
I don't know.
See it, Donnie?
But will he see it? I don't know. He may not.
We could tag him.
We could. I'll tag Don. I like Don. He's nice. I know you don't. Well, you can't like Don.
I don't dislike him as a person or nothing. I don't not like him. We're just both in a similar position, and it's a fight.
Hey, the path to glory is you got to fight tough bastards, and Don is definitely that, and so are you. That would be a really good fight, but that kind of makes me sad because somebody has to lose, and you're both really nice, and I want to see you in the UFC.
He could go to the UFC. I'll go to Bellator, but if he does come over to Shamrock, he is going to get his ass whooped.
I would love to go to Bellator. I just love the vibe of Bellator. I really do. I fucking love it.
Yeah, like what you were saying about being there for fight week and doing all the stuff and then actually being at the show, being like kind of behind the scenes and just watching everything from afar, like on fight day and then weigh-ins day. I got to experience pretty much everything except for the bus ride over. That was perfect. Like it was really great to get that experience for leading into when it's going to happen, because then it's all just
I'm telling you, you're going to be
mental preparation.
You are going to be a Bellator mainstay. I'm going to be interviewing you before you start doing these Bellator fights. Josh, I want to give you the opportunity. We talked a lot of shit. I don't think we offended too many people this time, but we'll try to offend more people next time. Why don't you go ahead, if there's sponsors or whatever that you need to shout out, why don't you go ahead and do that before I let you go?
Yes. 2 Car Guys. If you need a car in St. Louis, you need to reach out to 2 Car Guys. My guy John Sands will take care of you. That's my boy. Total Roofing Exteriors here in St. Louis. If you have any problems with your roofing, with your roof, gutters, siding, anything exterior, you get a hold of Mike Augustine over at Total Roofing. Marshall Inu. That's those guys are just doing great things for fighters right now. Get invested in their coin before the market starts to go back up and get crazy again. You want to get invested now while you can. Who else we got? D&B slots and games. If you're over in Columbia, Illinois, and you're trying to get a little gambling going, maybe grab yourself a little drink, stop on into D&B's, have yourself a good old afternoon. Imposed Will. We got Imposed Will. Get your custom gis, rash guards. It's actually super comfortable training gear. I'm not just promoting it. It's really good shit. It's all really, really quality. Adam Meredith is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he knows his shit. He obviously made all this stuff with really pure intentions of having good training gear for everybody. So go check out Imposed Will. Obviously Mom's Basement MMA. Check out every episode. Go back, watch our old episodes, see whenever I called AJ Cunningham a dumb redneck.
I don't remember which one it is, but I will link all the episodes Josh and I've done. This is like our 4th or 5th one. I don't even remember, but I will watch them all because they're all funny. They're all amazing. And just like this one was. So Josh, can't wait to run it back with you. Good luck on your fight on the 9th, and we'll do it again soon, bro.
Thank you, bro.
All right.